The Schwinn Boundary, a bike that pre-2020 was already popular, and then Schwinn upgraded it. New geometry, a 1x drivetrain, and a few other component changes. I found the new Boundary to be a great big box bike, and I mentioned in my review that with the new fork, it should have some trail potential. You know what I do here at KevCentral, so I've already upgraded the fork along with a few other things to create a better Boundary, and here it is. Project Boundary Stage 1. This is Stage 1 because I used a few of the original parts, so let's look at it from top to bottom. I replaced the factory bars with these Ace kits, also 720mm. The change, it reduced weight by about 2 ounces. For grips, I'm using Sapley's blade grips because I saw some similar grips on a new mountain bike at the local bike shop, so I thought I would try out the concept on Project Boundary, plus the green goes with the bike's accents. As usual, Shimano MT200 hydraulic brakes because affordable, at least pre-COVID-19. I'll put a link to these and all the other components down in the description, but just note supplies are a bit iffy. The bars and brakes we've seen before. The new trigger shifter though, that tips off that this is a new group set, and we'll get to that. For now though, let's look at the stem, and I know this doesn't match. I ordered what looked like a matching green in pictures and I received this. The important thing to note is this is a 45mm wake stem, reliable and affordable. Interestingly, it wasn't until I put this stem on that I noticed the factory stem spacer, that green one, it doesn't match the green on the bike either. Since we're at the headset, let's talk headsets. Normally, when I replace a lower, I also replace the upper, but for Stage 1, I kept the factory upper. Only replacing the lower with a fun ZS5640 to accept my new tapered fork. As I said earlier, a new fork a must for actual trail riding. Unfortunately, as of this video, affordable forks, they're getting scarce. But persistence pays off and I was able to find one. An air fork with 120mm of travel, a Suntour Apixon. Feature-wise and for this build, the Apixon checks all the boxes for a sub $200 fork. It's mounted to my wheelset's Novatech hubs, a wheelset I purchased earlier in the year. Impossible to find at the moment, but I only paid $169. That was for tubeless ready wheels wrapped in Continental Race King tires. They'll work now and offer future upgrade potential. Part of the reason I consider this Stage 1 is because I opted for using the factory 1x crankset up front. I did add these Fuker pedals that I had in my stockpile, all the rest though complete factory, including the 30-tooth chainring. That means it retains the square taper bottom bracket. Now this has held up so far and I expect that it's going to carry me over until I get to Stage 2. At the rear, a big change, both new to this bike and new to me. The Box 3 Prime 9, I actually ordered this way early in the year and it got delayed by the pandemic, but here it is, and it features a 9-speed 11 to 50 tooth chainring. This kit included the Box 3 derailleur with its built-in limited slip clutch. Can't wait to give this a go. Total price, $200. Boundary owners may have noticed that I changed the seat post. Cheap way to shed another ounce of weight. I did keep the factory seat post clamp. And because this bike's 19-inch frame is tall for me, I was able to use a shorter 300mm post. And on it, I fit a new saddle. I found this on sale for $12. My prerequisites, green accents, and hopefully more comfortable than the factory saddle. I don't like the branding, but budget constraints means that can't matter. And for $12, look how well its green matches the bike's trim. Along with the new brakes and the new wheels, which are both quick release, I did spend $20, adding just a little bling. Like on Project Comp V2, colored rotor bolts and valve stem caps. I also ditched the kickstand to shed a little more weight. All told, $735 worth of additional parts, which makes the bike better on paper, but how much does it improve the ride? But hold up, I'm not going straight to regular ride footage. I'm going to back up and show you what you don't normally see, things like the boring shift tests. I always run down how a new group set shifts out, especially in a case like this where it's completely new. In my first impressions, this shifts hard. And I don't mean hard at the trigger, I mean it's a pronounced shift. Very similar to the SRAM NX. And then I test out top speed, but in this case it's a 30-tooth going to an 11-tooth, so I know the speeds that will yield. With this group set though, my main focus is going to be on that 50-tooth experience because it offers near effortless seated pedaling up inclines, and that's exactly what I wanted. I haven't had any issues or chain drops. My only complaint would be the loud noises as it's shifting between gears. We'll come back to that box drivetrain, but the rest of the bike, it's pretty much what I expected and what I was hoping for. Though I have been on Project Comp V2 almost every day and I can tell the difference. This is a larger frame and 29-inch wheels, and you know I'm a 27.5 guy at heart, and I can tell this is bigger, and my ride, even with the upgrades, slower and more calculated. But that's not bad, because this is what I hoped for. It's just Project Comp V2 versus this Boundary. I'm going to parse out the differences in an upcoming video. It really does come down to size preference, but either way, this is a really nice riding bike and improved greatly over what was already a decent $248 bike to start with, so Schwinn abides. There are two standouts to the upgrades, first being the new fork. It's tunable and a smoother experience and quieter. It lost a lot of noise, but the drivetrain, it seems to have picked up that leftover noise. But that doesn't ruin what's definitely a more capable bike, and here's my breakdown and summary. For 29er fans, the Boundary is possibly the best and cheapest path for an upgrade as you go transition from street to trail. Parts-wise, I'll say, aside from the horrendous color of this wake stem, which, though ugly, I have been leaning on keeping since it looks so not factory. Plus, I've gotten used to it. Also like the new bars, because they're lighter, though they're not the color that I ordered. The new blade grips are, though, so another green accent, and they're more comfortable than the factory grips and do give a bit of extra support, so I'll probably keep them. The green saddle also in line with the new visual touches and more comfortable than the factory saddle, at least early on, and together with the new seat post, a weight savings area, even if it's only an ounce or two. As far as my mismatched headset, with factory up top and a fun taper at the bottom, I doubt that other than the sound when it's quiet, I could tell you the difference. And the same goes for the straight steer versus tapered. And I could have easily used a straight steer Apixon instead of a tapered version, but this is a project bike, so it had to be tapered. And for those that keep mentioning I should use the Balani and Lutu forks that are under $100 on Alibaba, I looked at those. They don't have an adjustable rebound. And that to me is important enough to justify the extra cost for an Apixon. My take on the Box 3 Prime 9, a little mixed, because 11 to 50 tooth at 9 speeds, that's impressive. And at no point did I have a feeling like I needed an intermediate gear somewhere. Now I do mark off for the chain slap and the fact that it's kind of loud, clunky shifting. But the 50 tooth for $200, I would say that outweighs any shortcomings. I've already said that the Boundary, to me, is the best Walmart sub $250 29er. I think Project Boundary also shows that it's a good platform with an easy path to upgrades. I plan on carrying this further into Stage 2 with some small tweaks, including an external bearing bottom bracket, a lighter crankset, and maybe even putting those tubeless ready wheels to use. So what's your take? Was this what you hoped or expected from the new Schwinn Boundary when upgraded? And what do you think about that new box group set? And what about this stem? Should I keep it or switch to a black one? I'm curious to hear your opinions, so comment below. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, or I guess a thumbs down if you didn't. If you're new here, I hope you hit that subscribe button and that you make sure the notification bell is active so you don't miss any new videos. Thanks for watching KevCentral. Have a great day.